Coming at you from Scratch and Wolf Studio. It's that time again to rage across the internet. It's your very favorite Werewolf the Apocalypse podcast. As always, I'm your host, Porter. Sitting to my left, man of 1,000 faces, Mr. Daniel Tyson.
Hey, everybody.
To my right, stealer of 1,000 bases, Mr. Tommy Dixon.
How's it going?
And joining us once more from locations unknown is Mr. C. Grant Rose.
Hey, everybody. How's it going?
Good to see you again, Grant.
Location redacted.
Too late now. All right. So again, welcome back, Grant. Gentlemen, good to see you. Hope we're all doing well.
Absolutely. Been a nice 2 weeks since I seen you guys.
Yeah, it's definitely not been
10 minutes.
10 minutes.
Not at all.
Hey, we promised and we delivered.
We're delivering.
We do that. Mostly.
Mostly.
Sometimes. When it's convenient.
For the most part.
60% of the time.
But hey,
right
we can be
every
bought
time.
to make those promises
We totally can be bought.
by our backers.
I love how you just segue. You're like, let's do that right now. So let's do that right now. We totally can be bought. And hey, if you...
I can't even do it with a straight face.
It's a beautiful thing.
Oh, we make our own fun.
Yes, we do.
That said, Tommy, bring that up. Of course, hello and thank you, everybody, for joining us once more. We are going to get back into the Hengeyokai action.
Hiya.
That's right. But before we do, we're still keeping score. That's
Yes,
excellent.
we are.
We want to say that if you enjoy the show, if you like what we do, there are ways you can help. And please, help.
Please.
Help.
Help. That's
Help.
the best way to put that.
Please.
With that emphasis, too.
Right.
Help.
I like that. Help.
Like we're in a deep, deep hole.
Heyo. I actually would answer the phone that way sometimes.
I remember
when I saw there was a telemarketer calling. Hey, were you there when I've done it before?
We were doing the Let's Play of Earth Blood of More Blood.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and that happened.
Oh, yeah. I'll answer the phone. Just go, help.
Yep.
Help. I don't know where I am. I just found this phone in the dirt. Please help me.
Oh, that's so good.
Yeah, it's great.
Oh. So to help us,
Yes. If you like what we do and you want to help, and again, help. I don't know where I am. You can join us over on Ko-Fi. It's a great way to help. We have different tiers for donations. It would mean the world to us. Again, if you think we deserve it, please. We have our
greatly appreciated.
It definitely is, and we have our backer rewards there. Our monthly hangout night, our game team, the NPC of the month club, and of course our postmortems. Not all necessarily in that order.
Almost.
Right, it's close. It's close.
It's close
It's fine.
enough.
It's
It's close
fine.
enough.
And of course, with Ko-Fi, you can just make a donation of whatever you want, whenever you want, without having to do a monthly thing.
That's what you want?
Right.
Still appreciated.
Every bit helps. It's a big deal. Helps keep us on the air. Helps keep us ad free. Mm-hmm. We will totally sell out. That's not the issue, but it keeps that from happening longer.
Keeps it happening longer.
Man, I will sell a Starbucks thing. I have no idea what happens in that place, but I will sell a Starbucks thing all day long if they give me money. I don't care.
Yeah.
Raid Shadow Legends, people. I don't.
I'm slowly falling to the worm, guys.
Subscribe now and you get a special Porter hero.
That's right. Raid Shadow, the thing where you hit the dragon or something. Sign up now with code bullshit to find the ogre and get the treasure, I guess.
Close enough. Close
And
enough.
hey, you can find all these links at rageacrosstheinternet.com.
.com.
.com.
Dot.
Oh, fuck
It
off.
can't go backwards. It doesn't work that way. You will get a 404 error.
Oh.
There's also a drive-through RPG link there.
Yes.
Which we don't mention enough.
We don't. There are two, in fact. We have affiliate links to the Storyteller's Vault directly and Drive-Thru RPG.
Right.
So if you're buying your books, use those links, please and thank you. Because what it does is it gives us store credit, which we can use to get better copies,
Of the stuff we already have.
right, of the research material.
Some stuff we already have, some stuff we don't, and future stuff we do need to buy some things coming up.
Well, that's true. There's some Storyteller's Vault stuff I want to look into a little bit.
Yeah,
I'm not normally a big fan, but there's some good stuff out there.
Yeah, we've got plans.
Sort of. They're like half-baked, but that's fine. That's kind of how we do.
And if you want to hang out and hear more of this bullshittery, you can join us on our Discord as well.
That's true. Also, the link to that Discord is in our forums on rageacrosstheinternet.com.
We don't need more than that.
We don't, but
We don't need to do it again.
And if you're in a position, you're not in a position to help us out monetarily, or you feel maybe we don't deserve it for some weird reason, keep listening. You'll come around. But
Promise.
But if that's not where you are right now, we totally understand. Times are tough. You can help us out. Again, we talk about the affiliate link, but also word of mouth, reviews, 5 stars. Yeah,
likes.
5 stars helps that algorithm to get us to more people.
Mm-hmm.
We're all over the place. If there's a place where there's a podcast, we're there.
And if we're not, tell us and we'll figure out how to get there.
Right?
Correct.
Like I'm looking at us on Amazon now.
Really?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
It's like you toss us those reviews, man. The higher reviews, the more people see us, and people need to see us because we're delightful. Maybe.
We make fun. We joke a lot. We're just good friends who bullshit about a game we love.
And Grant's here.
And
And
Grant's
Grant,
here.
and that guy's
And I'm here.
Yeah.
I am here.
I mean, shout out
Sometimes.
to, we've gotten a couple new guys that just started. They found our podcast. They're getting into it. I mean, there's a couple new guys that came through. So.
That's true. Well, and hey, it wasn't too long ago, too many episodes ago, we had our buddy CJ on, who pointed out that, or maybe I pointed out, I don't know who pays attention, but we met CJ through our Discord.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true.
A lot of the guests that have come on this show,
Just because they were on the Discord.
Yeah, we met through the Discord and like, hey, we like you. Let's see what happens. So who knows? Maybe you're going to be on the air in 6 months,
You never know. And then maybe you're still on the air 6 months after that and you get some steak knives.
or we lie about it and Grant gets really mad.
Yeah, I can see
still
his
have no
face.
steak knives.
I can see it in his face. He's mad.
Right?
He really wants
All
that
those
steak
damn
knife.
knives.
Said.
Or the consolation toaster. Where's the consolation toaster?
We do have the stickers now.
This is true.
Put the sticker on a toaster.
That was always the plan.
I know.
You know what? No, I forgot I have to send him that PS1 still. I'm slapping a sticker on it.
There you go. You're gonna get a Rage Across the Internet PlayStation. Think about that.
Hey,
That's an upgrade from the steak knives and the toaster. Except you got to fix it.
Here's an upgrade. It doesn't work though.
doesn't work. Doesn't work. You have to fix it.
Speaking of things from Japan that don't work, we were talking about the con last time.
That is amazing
Nice.
for a segue. That's so good.
You're welcome. I am so proud of that.
That is. Oh, come on. Yep. So good. I think we touched enough on the con, though. We
No,
can
we
move
did,
on.
but it was. But come on, man.
Oh, damn it. That was funny. The
I'm
cons,
so proud of myself for that.
that was really good.
So if we're talking about all the beast courts and who's there, yeah, the con's where we left off.
Right, and just a quick refresher if you didn't, for some reason, listen to last week's.
Just go back and
the last Hengeyokai show. This was 2 weeks ago. It wasn't last week's. We covered the Nezume. We covered the Hakan. We covered the actual con.
Yeah,
the Hakan.
The Hakan.
Yes, yeah.
We did talk about the Kumo because they're kind of like the bad guys.
We did. Neat ass goblin spiders.
Goblin spiders.
I'd rather just call them goblin spiders.
Right, like
That's
it sounds. It's so much fun to say.
So much fun to say.
We touched a little bit on the Naga.
We did, but that's not. But that's the thing is, let's get back into it. We're discussing the difference in the Naga. If that's where you're leading us, Danny.
Yeah, I figure we like I said, we did a little bit on the Naga, but we probably start from there and go.
No, that sounds great.
Keep going.
The Naga, they are like the Khan. Like they're the only of the Hengeyokai
Who refuse to change names.
Yeah, they keep the same name. So the Naga are still the Naga.
Good on them.
It makes it easier for us.
It, for us, sure, yes. But I mentioned in part one, they were kind of fucked off a little bit, and it was during the War of Rage, and they even say it's during the Wars of the Fourth Age.
Well, again, there is no War of Rage in the Beast Courts. They
Right.
never had that.
Which is why they say Wars of Fourth Age, because this is the War of Shame.
And they have their complicity and miscalculations could also be argumentatively pointed to as the origins of both the War of Rage and the War of Shame.
So what were those miscalculations?
So the first one was where the Naga assassin killed, I think it was a Silver Fang Elder that mistakenly was given false pretenses and killed him. And that's, the fact that the Grawl wouldn't bring said hero back from the dead is the reason why the War of Rage actually erupted.
Kind of, sort of. It was actually a messenger that was delivering a message to that elder.
Well, and then that's all from the Naga book.
Correct.
And the War of Rage.
Correct.
Yeah.
For the War of Shame, it was not quite. They don't really point at one person, but they do, specify that that they are at least culpable in some of this.
Which is something, and again, we recently. I mean, that was no, it wasn't because Corex happened too. So
for us, it was recent.
It was recent enough for us to.
It was recent enough that I remembered that tidbit because I had to correct. I believe it was you on that one as well. Because I had actually read that whole write-up. Yeah,
and I just glanced over it because it wasn't. The point here is gone now, lost on me.
I'm sorry.
Fuck.
Coincidentally, the reason their culpability in the War of Shame is one of the reasons why they were targeted almost more than any of the other Pharaoh by their brethren in the War of Shame. More Naga died in that war than arguably any of those.
Yeah, pretty much anybody other than the Bears.
Yeah. Well, the Bears, they just left. They didn't get killed off. They just left. I'm not playing. I'm taking my ball and going home.
Allegedly.
I say allegedly. I mean, of course, we had an alternate theory on that last time. Very chaste. And
but like the Naga, they're kind of they were acting like pretty much what the worm was supposed to be, the balance worm. Because they feel like the worm has forgotten its purpose. So they were essentially really good at their jobs. And that's what they blame for getting fucked off more than anybody else.
Well, I mean, I would argue if they were so good. I mean, because remember, the Naga were very...
Assassiny?
I don't want to say the Western, but, the Naga of the greater world, it's about you never being seen. And if they were so fucking great, then how come they were seen to be killed? But I mean, that's the Naga versus the Unaga.
The Unaga?
The Nobunaga?
There's no little thing there. I mean, they're both called Naga. How did we separate?
I know. That's why I'm laughing.
It's hard to separate, yes.
Best part of eel is the sauce.
Fair.
See, there's layers to it.
No, I got it.
Might be funny. It's clever though. Fuck off.
That's clever. I gave it to you. Grant, do you have anything else for the Naga?
I mean, I do like the fact that, they're not unknown to the Beast Courts, unlike in the Western side. They're kind of like the boogeyman. Like, I can see some elderly Shadow Lord saying, don't do this bad thing or the Naga will come get you. That doesn't happen in the Beast Courts. They know they exist. They know they're around. And, they're kind of like part-time friends. So, like, they could be convinced to join like a wave Sentai, but they're not really going to join a mountain Sentai. And if they do join, they're going to be underneath a particular auspice or two. So, but what is really interesting is that the other Pharaoh in the Beast Court, they know the Naga exist, and yet they keep that secret from the non-Beast Court Pharaoh.
I was about to bring that up because it was something we talked about in the Naga episode. That the Hengeyokai they're kind of cool. They're in on it.
They keep the secret.
Like, oh, hey, look, some Fianna and some Get are visiting. Let's
don't look at the Naga over there.
Hey, Sam, go hide in the closet.
Good choice of words.
Thanks.
We tried so hard to not do that during that episode, too.
No, I know. I fucking ruled it's over. All bets are off.
It's not the episode anymore, so it's fair.
We are having fun with this shit.
Absolutely. No, I'm happy you brought that one up. That was kind of a big deal.
Yeah.
Again, they were fucked off so hard. There's so few left. That secret is so important now.
Well, that's the thing with that disconnect too, right? Between the East and the West. Is you're looking, through Werewolf the Apocalypse about how, you even see a Naga and that's it. You're done. You're brown bread.
Yep.
But in the Beast Courts, you're done. You're brown bread. It's your toast.
I know.
Where in the Beast Course, it's like, a shark, a snake man, and a cat person walk into a bar, and it's just Tuesday. There's even a joke here. What are we laughing about? In that disconnect to where, fucking someone could just show up in the jigs, Hey, look, you're real after all. So I love that they, it is that disconnect, and they write in how they try to keep that quiet. Which I find hard to believe, but I'm going to lean into it anyway because I appreciate that they thought about we're going to make the effort.
I think they keep it quiet because of how they understand their role to be. They don't really understand that they're guys assassins, but they do sort of see them as guys internal affairs department, And it's sort of like, hey, if you don't mention them, they don't come around.
And they're really good at interpretive dance.
Listen, I'm sorry, Mr. Birdman, but I happen to have some evidence that you were taking drinks on the clock going to the bar. That is not okay. We're going to have to bring you up on charges.
Internal affair.
Yeah.
I love it. That's a really good way of putting it, though.
I know. I do. I like that.
Yeah, I mean, you got one show up at your local court, and your sentai is going to look around and be like, "Who did it? Which one of y'all fucked up? See, now you got the snake on us. Now fucking Sammy the Snake's going to fuck with us. Right. God damn it,
Sammy the Snake."
Fucking building canon characters throughout the course of the. Look at this.
We do it every time.
We kind of do.
We got the whole Smash Mouth crew.
You're right. That might be a camp at this point. There's so many of them.
I know.
The mouth pack. It's
like
a camp
dentist
now?
wet dream.
Oh wow! God.
Who else we got left?
we got a few.
There's a couple. There's more than a couple. But you got the Samabito.
Huh?
The Rokea.
Oh, okay.
It's the rare sharks of the East.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I can't help it.
That's fine. We had the competition for the real Rokea. Remember that?
Yep.
How long it took until somebody said something?
Yeah, like
We had a bet and who was going to do it, and
Grant lost.
No, it was me, Porter, and Kaysen.
Oh,
I wasn't involved in this. I wasn't invited to that reindeer game.
No, you weren't invited.
You were away. You were on the other side of the planet, if
Yeah.
I recall.
Yeah, I was close to the Beast Courts in real life.
See, you should have fucking. I don't know what. You should have done something.
he needed the steak knife set, so.
That's fair.
They were lost in the desert.
But so what? Now something I think that it's always been really important about the Rokea is that they suck. How?
I'll agree.
So what about the Samabito isn't stupid? What a question.
A lot.
Well, I mean, maybe to you.
Oh, shit. I'm gonna like this. This is versus. Let's go.
Like as I'm reading this, it's like they're still Rokea. Don't compare us to the Rokea, but we're just Rokea because we're not interested in the politics of the land. We don't care about, or we care very little about, protecting the lands of Emerald Mother. But our home and the waters, we will protect on our dying breath.
Well, I feel like someone's got to look out for that.
To an extent.
And
Samabito, go ahead.
All right, I was going to say, and also, and I am about to hand the reins over to you for a second, Grant.
Okay.
According to the Hengeyokai book, there's the art in the section for the Samabito, and that motherfucker's holding a naginata. And that's awesome.
It is. It's a pretty cool picture.
So that already makes them better. I don't know the regular Rokea know what thumbs are. And this one's got a naginata, which he's holding with his thumbs, because you need those to hold things.
Yes.
Grant?
Yes. So there were some big differences in the Samabito and
Oh, sure.
Rokea.
But
So one, they're given territory that includes land and sea. So they're not totally focused on just the sea. And unlike the normal Rokea, they don't have this genocidal thing where they go out and they kill all their home-born Rokea. That's not what they do. They actually accept them, and they're a vital part of who they are.
well, they need them. There's only so many out there.
Right. So the really awesome thing with that is that when they do come together, they have sort of like the Haken, they come together in different clans that's similar to the samurai Bushido style clans called Habatsu, which they're not quite like followers of the Bushido, but they are still very militant type of a code of honor type thing. So they're sort of like, shark samurai, and their focus is going to be on honor and all that stuff. And, they always really focus on, battle. But something that was really, really cool that I liked is that a lot of the leaders are of the goblin shark, and they have an ability to step sideways. And that's really what makes them really helpful, because they can step sideways when others can't, like you were saying, and they can bring others with them.
What the same hell is a goblin shark?
It's a type of shark. It's a small shark. They're really ugly. They live off the coast of Japan.
Oh, this is a real thing.
It's a real thing. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm not interested anymore.
We got the goblin spiders, and now we have goblin
I was
sharks.
excited about this demon sharks or whatever, it's just a fucking fish. All
It's
right.
a fish.
Something else that they have is they can actually buy kinfolk. A Samabito can have human kinfolk.
You could purchase them?
You can purchase.
There's a fish.
dots.
There's a Fishman kinfolk store.
Dots. You can buy multiple dots.
Oh, okay, that kind of
Kinfolk
purchase.
for your
Different
character
thing.
on the street.
I'm questioning that for a second.
Mechanics wise, okay, You can.
Let me clarify.
I can see that you hit up those little fishing villages. What? Like, it's not even a joke. Where else are they going to go?
I mean, yeah.
Flop up to Tokyo and be like,
I mean, to be fair, though, they are one of the very only changing breeds that are gonna protect the waters, and the Earth is 70% water.
No, that's
somebody's got to do it.
No, that's true.
But again, we're only in the east.
But there's still
there's a lot of water.
Asia's an island.
Yeah, I know. Like, that's the thing too. It's just very.
I guess technically every continent is an island.
This is fair.
Fine.
I mean, Australia's just a big island.
Yes, I know.
Very big island, but yes.
I mean, but
yes. I mean, every continent is just a very big
That's exactly what I'm saying. We're gonna dumb it down to that level, folks.
Fine.
It's see and unsee. You see that? You see
yeah,
I suck.
You know what? I like that.
Because we made fun of it pretty hard during the actual shark episode.
We did.
I'm just saying, if sharks were so cool, how come they can't breathe oxygen? Huh?
It's hard to.
I love those. I love doing that.
To be fair, some can. Some can.
It's like dinosaurs. If they're so fucking rad, how come they're all dead?
Kill everybody.
Moving on. There's a lot to cover still.
Yep. All right. So then the next, you have the Tengu, who we just talked about.
These guys.
Well, we didn't just talk about them, but we talked about the Ravens.
We talked about the Korax. Yeah,
Korax.
we recently just did the Korax episode. Mm-hmm. And then before that, we kind of recently talked about the Savage Age Korax.
The Repics.
And so now they're just infecting show after show. What
They get the free hall pass.
This fucking hall pass, man.
They get 3 episodes.
Right? They're showing up all over the place. Enough.
It makes up for the lack of a Glasswalkers too. Now you have a Korax.
Wow.
Oh,
well
man.
done.
That's a low blow.
Korax 3, the beaconing.
To be fair, the Tengu I like the most out of all the different varieties of Korax.
You said that about the Nizumi.
No. He said that
about the Korax.
Wait, thanks for listening to the podcast, Danny.
My mistake. I was cutting you off. I apologize.
Right? I almost did the same thing.
Just let me follow the sword.
You just fucked it up first.
I got it.
So, Grant, you were saying that they're your favorite variety of Korax. Why is that?
Because they're the ones that actually focus on actual combat. They're the ones that focus on being very combative instead of just being the here's your message, good sir. May I take one back? What's your response? So they actually train, especially over there in the Beast Course, they actually train enterprising humans to go around and kill the different threats like Kumo, where spiders, and then Bakemono, which is another threat we're not going to get into. But they basically take these humans, they say, hey, here's all the weaknesses of these creatures, and we think there's a bunch of them over there. Go ahead and take care of them. And some of them, most of them, die horrible deaths. And but it really helps out with that because you can start using that for different chronicles and playing in those types of different threats and plot lines.
Something neat about that too is because, and we talked again, we recently did the Korax episode with the nature of how the Korax are created.
Yeah,
not born, but created.
Right.
Is you can do that. You could say have a character that came from from the Iga province and was trained as a ninja, and he made the cut, and as a reward, he becomes a Tengu.
Mm-hmm.
Neat.
The best of the best, we give spirit eggs.
Right.
Or, they all have potential, and if they die, well, we weren't good enough. Too bad.
Best of the best, you get to like shiny stuff. Congratulations.
They even consider some of the, I guess, humans like kin, but those kin still don't have chance of birthing these eggs.
But that's the thing, you can't.
Right. But we all know what the Korax were. They kept, or not that they didn't keep, but they found out and shared the secrets. The Tengu will only share the secrets with the Hengeyokai. They will not go outside of it.
That's fine.
I mean, it's just their own game. We get it.
Yeah, I'm not busting their balls there.
With some exceptions, because the Tengu versus the traditional Korax are much more militant and much more aggressive. Mm-hmm. They have certain combat gifts like the Bloody Feather Swarm and the Bladed Feathers gift. I can't remember what it's called off the top of my head.
I think the Blade of Feathers. I think those.
Yeah. So they developed from those battle gifts from the Tengu, but they spread them out to the other Korax throughout the world.
Which is definitely cool, but I mean, this might shock everybody. I agree with Grant here about the Tengu being the cooler version of the Korax, but
even though we've said the Korax were fucking cool already.
Well, the Korax, they are, but there's fucking levels, and really, I think the Hengeyokai are the coolest versions of the Pharaoh. Just full stop.
That's also fair.
No,
I get it.
I mean, we just got done talking about were sharks. right?
But see, you're getting awful close to hitting that limit where Vin Diesel's going to come get you. You know how he feels about his street sharks. You know how he feels about his street sharks. I've seen the commercial.
It's true.
About it.
Vin Diesel likes street sharks?
Oh, yeah, he was the spokesman for the pitch for street sharks for the toys.
I don't remember.
You have to see the commercial.
I don't want to.
I'll DM it to you on Discord.
Oh, great.
It's shark.
I'll just take your word for it. It's fine.
No,
No.
you just see it. You love Vin Diesel.
I don't.
Do you style your hair just like his?
That's a good one.
I'll take it. Fine. Send me Vin Diesel and the Street Sharks.
That's a sentence, by the way. That's our wraparound, man. That's the end one.
According to Grant, they're sharktastic.
Sharktastic. Oh boy.
Oh. What do we got left?
No, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I have a little more thing about the Were Ravens, but
Go ahead. Cause
I thought it was hilarious that they're like responsible for some of the accuracies and also inaccuracies of certain myths. I just thought it was funny. Like they purposely put in some false information to keep others from knowing the actual truth.
Which is good shit. And while it's not Hengeyokai related, it makes me think back to the Lycanthrope game from Black Dog and how part of the lore of that involves holy water working on Garu. So you will have stories throughout, like, short stories and shit written out through the lore, through the books of people shooting, I think it's the first story out of When Will You Rage 2, where the kid is trying to save his sister from and he's like, they're werewolves, and he's got the squirt gun full of holy water, and he's shooting the Black Fury, whoever, with the holy water. And it's like, yeah, you play Lycanthrope, huh?
Beautiful.
Right? It's like, okay. But I like that, throwing that misinformation. I think that's a cool thing. And I think, we mentioned working with humans earlier, that's something that is kind of different about the Hengeyokai, is that, the remoteness and in the legends, how they all kind of, I want to say bleed together, for lack of a better term, but it allows for a greater kind of knowledge. The way that the Tengu and the Kitsune, they appear all over Asian myth.
Yeah.
All over that mythology, where that would be kind of like a veil no-no in the West. Right? We try to mitigate that shit, but, they kind of lean into it here. The idea of, the myths informing things kind of the same way, but also kind of hiding a bit of the nature. You could think about Akumo because of about the myths, or that you're certain, it's a Ken, and, you believe that they're strictly bound by a code of Bushido, but that's not really necessarily the case.
Right. I see what you're saying.
Yeah, but I think that's interesting that, they're so ingrained in the overall culture and mythology. I like how they tied that stuff together.
It's a big deal, and we say that the East is more of the fictionalized version.
Right.
But there's still aspects of the truth, or
myths
of the truth.
Well, you think that there's actual mythology in Japanese mythology of the Tengu and of, raven spirits that, have major impact throughout a lot of their mystical mythology over there from back in the day. So you can really incorporate that into your games, and you can use that as inspiration to layer on all the other manga and anime inspiration that they've brought into the game.
No, definitely. That's what I'm saying. I think I'm really glad. I think it's cool how they lean into it that way, and how they kind of put a hat on all of it.
Mm-hmm. Then I guess the last. Go ahead.
Because ravens like hats. That's all I was going to say.
As long as they're shiny.
Why would a hat be? What are you talking about?
I don't know. But shiny things. They like shiny things.
Bedazzled.
They have a robot hat?
Yes.
Robot.
Bedazzled hat.
So let's talk dinosaurs. Porter loves them.
Is that what we're moving on to?
I'm sad that I didn't save my "If Dinosaurs Were So Cool" thing. This would be the time to do it.
Do it again. It's fine. Someone missed it. I guarantee someone missed it.
No, they didn't. No. It's fine.
And then the last are the Zonglun, which were the Macaulay, the were dragons.
They still are the Macaulay.
Why'd you learn to pronounce that?
Yeah, I don't think that's right either. But
all right, tell me how to say it.
So I'm just curious where you learned how to pronounce that, because I haven't been able to find a definitive pronunciation for this, and I don't want to massacre it with my Kentucky accent, because I don't know Japanese or any other Asian language for that matter.
Zonglun? I was just guessing.
It's spelled long.
It's what?
It's spelled long. Lung, but I don't know why it's Loom versus Lung.
I guessed.
I don't even know if the book has it phonetically.
No.
It doesn't, but and this is here's the thing. Mm-hmm. I'm not popping in to be the expert on this one, okay? But it's my understanding.
Okay.
Because I don't speak Japanese.
No.
But, once upon a time, I dated someone who was fluent.
Cool.
It's only noteworthy because it's my understanding that, you want to pronounce this stuff phonetically. It's like, it's just how it looks. You don't have the long and short like in our alphabet. Mm-hmm. So I think it's Zhonglong.
Okay.
But I do not know that.
It sounds better.
That's the way I'd go with it.
Yeah.
Zhonglong. Okay. Well, it's the Zhonglong.
Yeah, I was going to give Danny shit for pronunciation because they make fun of my accent all the time.
No, that's fair.
Well, I don't make fun of your accent.
Look, I mean, we screw a rune, so I understand why you...
I still think I'm right. A rune, it's a rune. Say what you want.
Right, that's what we just said. We're just screwing a rune.
Right.
It's fine.
Around.
I mean, I don't know why that's got to sound so bad to you.
Oh my God. It's been so long since we've snuck one of those in.
That's true. That's why I'm dying over here.
So the Zhonglong,
yeah, I think so.
The were-dragons of the Hengeyokai. There's a couple things in I found it hilarious. I kind of jealous even. The males live alone. They're very solitary. Mm-hmm. The only time they ever go out is pretty much like if they have to protect their home or mating. And the females, they're like groups of 3 and 4.
Feels like that's kind of how I live my life now.
So you're trying to say you're a were dinosaur?
That's what I hate.
We prefer we're Saurians.
We're Saurian. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
That doesn't exactly work, but I see where you're going.
You see where I was trying to
do. Yeah, the females live in like groups of 3 to 4. There is a older one who's way past like birthing age, we'll give it that. She's aunt. And then the other 2 to 3 are the ones... Go ahead. Porter's got his hand raised.
Are you trying to say that one of them is a dragon lady?
I wasn't going to say it, but yes.
Shame on them for writing that. That's so on the nose.
So on the nose.
But again, yeah, you have one who's older and she kind of protects the others, and the other 3 are either, pregnant or guarding the eggs. Like the male's living in solitaire, except to mate and protect.
He's just staying in a hammock somewhere, chilling out.
Outside of White Wolf writing stuff a little too on the nose with these guys, what I do really like about them is that although they're not like any more numerous or less numerous than normal Mokale, like they're given a lot more respect in their AO, their area, and they actually comparatively those the Zhonglongs are stronger than the normal Mokale. Being in the beast courts and being active, well, these other Farah and each other Shin have given them a lot more capability and chances to like accumulate like more power, strength, and support. So they essentially have like 2 auspices because all of them have access to all the Galliard gifts. So in addition to whatever gift that or auspice that they have naturally.
It makes sense. Also because they're kind of like the eldest of all the shapeshifters in the Hengeyokai.
Yep.
So yeah, I can see why they would, I guess, be the strongest.
So not only can they take their normal Mokale gifts, like their normal spectrum, and then they can also take the Beast Court gifts, per their Beast Court auspice, which is universal throughout the Beast Courts. But the Zhonglongs of the Beast Courts can take any of the Galliard gifts from the Guru's list. So they essentially have like 4 different gift lists that they can buy from. Say that 3 times fast.
No, thank you.
Yeah, no.
I refuse.
Now that said,
to make the dinosaurs even stronger, just for Porter.
Okay, great. No, see, that's the thing is, my beef with the Mokale comes from the dinosaur thing. I liked them as were crocodiles.
Oh, I agree. I
thought that was way cooler. The whole kaiju thing. I don't like it for werewolf. Now, going to the beast courts, I think it's natural, and I think the hope is to lean less dinosaur and more dragon.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Which is, I think, way cooler.
Much
like,
cooler.
I'm on board with the Zhonglong. I'll pass on the Mokale all day long, but the Zhonglong, I'm into that.
Right.
You know, that aesthetic, I think, is far more, with the dragon, is far more appropriate.
Especially for the setting.
Right, for the setting, in more so than the Macaulay is for the apocalypse setting.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, the dragon, the dinosaur forms, I don't think that fits everything else. But I think the dragon aesthetic is right at home with the East.
I agree.
So you're saying Godzilla was Zhonglong?
Yeah.
100%.
I'd be okay with that. Mm-hmm. You know, because of the mutations, because of the bomb, which is what created Godzilla. So he was just, Godzilla is just a mutated Zhonglong.
Which is hilarious.
That's why he doesn't change forms in the movies, because he can't, because he's been mutated by the bomb, the radiation from the bomb. So he's just kind of fucked off in the brain.
Oh, well, now we know.
Right? That's canon now.
Always stuck in that
Fight me.
Canon. But like, I even went back to my notes when we did the Macaulay episode, and I have, or at that day, I had the stuff on the Zhonglong but we stopped. Like, oh, it's the Zhonglong. We're not talking about it.
Yeah.
We're not going to do it because it's the Hengeyokai episode. So I actually went back and I found that one of 14 notebooks that I have.
Hey, he's recovering. He's admitting.
Right?
That's the
He
first
knows
step
he
to
has a
recovery.
problem.
Yeah, if I have a problem with notebooks. But it makes sense why you say that going back to the dragon forms and more of the crocodiles. Because we even look at the Sukid forms of the Zhonglong.
What's the Sukid form?
The Sukid was was crocodile lupus.
Okay.
We'll go with that way.
Croc lupus. Got
Croc
it.
Rock lupus. Nice.
So they were saltwater crocs, they were the Chinese alligators, and they were the Komodo dragons.
Which are not actual dragons.
No,
I
know they're not.
I wasn't sure, because you looked really proud of yourself.
They're pretty damn close. Though. Even wings are right there.
I mean, I'll give you that looks wise.
Now we're just waiting on enterprising scientists to make that happen.
Or someone really good with Photoshop.
Oh,
Challenge
Jesus
to you
Christ.
listeners to see that in visual Inspirato on our Discord. I'm waiting.
I might do that.
You were saying, Danny, sorry.
Oh, that was it. That's what I had. I remembered that I had it down, and then I went and had to look for this fucking notebook.
Well, I'm impressed that you found it in the sea of the 14 notebooks that you have in this bag.
I'm
over
very impressed as
Yeah,
well.
you might as well give that information out.
here. We just did.
Yeah, like I'll write stuff for like 6 pages, and then
Start a new notebook.
start.
Yeah. He's like one per episode.
Yeah.
So there's a couple things about the Zhonglong that I do really like in the beast courts. One thing that I think is peculiar. So the peculiar thing is that they don't breed outside of their breed form, like with partners that's not of their breed form. So if they're born homid, they're only going to have a homid mate. Or if they're born, Sushid, they're only going to have Susid. How do you pronounce that damn word?
I like
They're only going to. Yeah, that word, Sukid. There we go. They're only going to, reproduce with their own Komodo dragon buddies. So that was kind of a peculiarity to me. The second thing is that they're pretty much like the heart and soul of the beast courts.
Of
They're
course
the
they are.
ones that. Well, they spend most of their time in the Menissus. They're really researching and going through the waves of memory, and so they keep this thread of consistency throughout the beast court, and that's the reason why they're looked at as this honored position within each Sentai. Is because not all Sentais have one, but ones that do, like, hey, look here, we have good old grandpa from back in the day letting us know what great granny said, and so we need to give them a little bit of value, old wise elder.
I get it, because again, they're like the eldest of all the Hengeyokai.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
And if they're the eldest, they have the most memories. And
Well, that's their whole deal. No, I will say though, in terms of only breeding with, like, that makes sense to me. Mm-hmm. That was something I always kind of, I don't want to say struggled with, but werewolf isn't a romance in the first place.
No.
Right. But, like, I think of a situation like in our canon, and not even because, all the different fucking versions of the game that I've run over the years. There is a version of my games where, the character Whiplash had bred true. He had kids, but they were wolves. Like he bred with a wolf kinfolk, and the wolf had the litter, and there were 2 that bred true in it.
Oh, that's right. I remember you telling me this.
And like, okay, neat for Whiplash, hooray for him. But here's the Whiplash is Hamid. He grew up. He's a dude. Mm-hmm. Like he's like a normal kid mostly. So, like, at what point do you go, man, that wolf's looking pretty good?
licking his lips.
Right. Or like
rubs his thumb across the bottom of his chin.
Or the other side of that, right? Is he's like,
it depends on what the butt smells like.
But see, then here's the other side of that, right? Where he's like, well, no, it'll be better for the nation and increase my odds of breeding true. If I breed with a wolf kinfolk, it'll be better for the nation. It's going to be a better way to do it. Oof. Okay. We're going to do this. This is for the Garu population.
Oh.
Yep. Oh no!
Yep.
I'm just gonna think about that movie I saw the other night.
Just stay in lupus and get into it for a while.
Just take the blue pill, close your eyes, and think of something else.
Let your animal instincts take over.
Right? No, right. And that's the thing. Like I've always had a little problem with that disconnect. So to hear that that's not how the Zhonglong do business, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I know what I got to do, but I really don't want to do it.
Okay. Take one for the team. Or I guess give one for the team, but that's not.
Hey.
Oh, that was bad.
Look.
It happens.
So now Grant keeps bringing up different auspices for the courts.
Yes.
This is a good way to segue into the courts organization.
Oh, beautiful.
So the Hengeyokai, who fully follow the courts, they've given themselves to the courts. They follow a different system than your normal Garu, than the normal werewolf system. They uphold a communal renown system, and they call it the Way of the Emerald Virtue. And it rewards Hengeyokai for following their auspice roles. But their auspices are discovered through ritual divination and do not necessarily correspond to moon signs or positions of the sun.
Okay.
So it's all the Hengeyokai, and it's kind of like a...
It's a melting pot.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's kind of the Beast Court's jam. I'm into it.
Yep, and another significant difference is the common code of behavior called the mandates.
And this is the litany.
This is their litany.
This has got to be just the litany.
And all Hengeyokai are expected to uphold the mandates over their own tribal laws, especially Rule 1 and the last.
What are those rules?
Oh, we're going to go right into the mandates, eh?
Are we allowed to talk about it?
Oh, yeah, we are allowed to talk about it.
It's not a one, but it's...
Can we reach out to the RAI lawyers real quick?
Oh, do you need to? Who's our lawyers?
Is something going to happen here?
I'm not a lawyer. Damn sure.
All right, I guess we're permission is granted for the mandates here.
So
okay.
So the first mandate and the final mandate are considered to be the cornerstones of all Hengeyokai's law. Obedience of the first mandate is necessary to the understanding of all mandates, as well as the duty all shapeshifters bear, and the final mandate may never be ignored, altered, or forgotten. For if the Hengeyokai fail to uphold it, the lifeblood of the mother will drain away forever. Now the first mandate, shirk not the tasks which have been given to you, which is serve the mother in the manner she intended. Do your damn job and just do your job.
No, yeah,
stay in your lane.
I'm a little
do another
underwhelmed.
Shape changer's job.
Yeah, I know. I was gonna say all this.
That was a lot of build up for just do your job, stupid.
And then the last one is let no one or nothing violate the sacred places. Defend your case.
Yeah.
There's a lot of build up for a very big letdown.
Right.
But, I mean, it makes sense. You follow those two.
But then nothing else matters?
Well, no, the other ones you will still get punished for, but if you don't uphold the first and last, you will get killed.
Yeah, they'll wipe you out. They'll take you out.
Yep,
yeah.
you're donezo.
That's
it. You have to maintain those ones, or you're donezo. The other ones, there's punishments for, but it's not, you're killed.
Yeah, but first one, last one, Dunyan rings.
Dunyan rings. I mean, you have to uphold those ones. I mean, I've got little notes on all the rest of them. There's not as many for like the litany, and these are all a little short and sweet. Guard the wheel that it may turn in fullness. We know the wheel.
Okay.
Pursue not to instruct your cousin in his task. So this forbids Hengeyokai from ignoring their own work to criticize their fellows.
Stay in your lane.
Stay in your lane again. So it's doubled down on.
Right?
Honor your territory in all things. Obviously keep up your land so it looks pretty.
Mow your lawn.
Mow your lawn. Keep Gaia happy. Let mercy guide you in your august mother's court. It's to prevent bloodshed between other Hengeyokai. This is don't spill the blood of others, of your other shape changers.
Okay.
Honor your ancestors and your elders. And my note says, don't talk back and go visit Grandpa.
Perfect. 10 out of 10.
Honor the pacts with the spirit world. All rites and rituals are to be performed in the proper fashion. Don't warm it up.
Nice.
Fuck you, Kumo.
And the last one, but it's not the last one, it's the second to last one. War not upon human nor beast. Forbids active campaigns against species settlements or the like, but does not forbid violence.
Wait, you can go fuck them up, but you can't.
You can fuck them up, but you can't have an active campaign, as in you're
Yeah, you
trying
can't
to
commit genocide.
annihilate them.
Okay, go fuck them up, but don't start war.
Pretty much.
Okay.
No, those are pretty simple.
Very,
Like,
very simple, and I like it.
I mean, I get it, but like
a lot of it's don't be an asshole.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah, stay in your lane.
I
Don't
like that.
be an
I like that
asshole.
mantra: stay in your lane, don't be an asshole.
Yeah,
Let the other
the
people do
really
their
cool
job.
thing about that, the really cool thing about that is that they encapsulate following those mandates to renown. Right, so you have normal, glory, and wisdom, renown, but they have a third, which they call virtue, which is basically the interpretation of these mandates based on each individual shin, breed. So as long as they do what they're meant to be done, how they're meant to be, based on what Gaia created them for, they can get virtue renown. So it makes things a lot easier when you have like a whole group of different Pharaoh come together, where you have one renown that corresponds to you're doing what the hell you were created for, versus having 12 different renown charts you have to follow because you have a pack of different Pharaoh breeds.
Well, I also like the so that covers. I mean, it doesn't cover the kitsune.
No, but
We did not cover the. Here's the thing, guys. We're gonna cover it later.
Of course we are.
call
But we
that,
will.
Their own special episode.
Call that
Special episode
part
comes
3.
right after Glasswalker 2.
Oh,
that's
don't
a-
make that
don't make
promise.
Well, that just means we never have to do it.
That's true.
Fine, make that promise.
But no,
It's on you now.
we discussed adding the kitsune in with the rest of these, but ultimately we decided that they do deserve their own episode.
Right.
Just like every other fair god.
Right. So yeah, our Pharaoh series isn't finished yet.
It will be.
It's not going to be our next regular show. I
Yeah,
think
it's not 2 weeks from now, but
it'll
will
happen soonish
Yeah, soon-ish.
because that'll be easy for us, frankly. That's enough reason.
We've already had our
Yeah.
nose in this book, so yes.
Right, like we've already covered Hengeyokai, and that's going to make Kitsune
Yeah,
easy to do.
The back half of this book is the
Kitsune.
Right, so we'll be back in here again, but getting that baseline of the Hengeyokai, I think that's more important right now, and that's what we're doing. And there's other shit to talk about.
Yeah, we still have stuff to go, so just so people understand.
Yeah, we didn't forget them. They're going to get their own show.
Yeah, just like we did on every other
Yeah, like,
Pharaoh.
they get a
we
fair share.
stop right at that part of it because they go into Hengeyokai episode.
It's their time.
Yeah, Kitsune will come.
I'm sorry?
There's the end tagline.
So yes, we will get to the Kitsune. It won't be today. It's not an oversight. We've made a decision. But I would like to talk about the Umbra.
Now, the
It's
Umbra-
the spirit world.
No, yeah, I got it.
You
Thanks.
should have been directing that to me, being Dante.
I got pages here, son. We can talk.
Boy, all right.
The Umbra's not the same.
No, it's
in
not.
The East.
It's not. And of course, they have their names for everything, which,
Why wouldn't they?
right. So, like we begin just with the gauntlet, which is called the wall. I'm still saying gauntlet. It's fine.
Yeah, I was gonna
don't
say,
worry.
just-
You might get
Gauntlet's
confused.
better.
Right.
So we're gonna peek the gauntlet. Peek the wall.
Either you breach the wall or break the wall, or if we're just another brick in the wall. I don't know. But it's not just like a single constant barrier, which is the thing. There are areas of great ambient energy where human skepticism has not yet sterilized the world, right? So like there's
Like
places,
how you put that.
yeah,
Does
like
that as a
there's
sentence?
places that the Weaver just hasn't taken hold yet. Those remote fishing villages and shit like that we were talking about earlier. There's areas where some spirits with like greater power can just slip through, to the other side, into the physical world, or lure mortals into the spirit world
'Cause
and
the
do with them what they will,
gauntlet's so thin.
because it's so thin.
Wow.
So what happens to those mortals?
So they get fucked off, probably.
Well,
What does the spirit want to do?
This is really anime-esque.
Yes.
And it makes me think a little bit of like Bleach, too. I mean, you probably didn't watch Bleach.
Don't drink
but-
that, folks.
No, it's an anime.
Oh,
I'm
it's
sure
an
you never
anime.
watched it. It was after your time of anime.
fair.
Don't drink the anime.
Yes.
Got it.
I mean, if you want we're mostly water, so it'll dilute the actual bleach if you drink it.
Oh,
Don't. I'm not a doctor.
Moving on.
So before we step too deep into the Umbra, I wanted to say something before I forget. We all have this stylized idea of martial arts being connected to the Far East and all that. And you have Kailindo, which was introduced in the Stargazers tribe book and the Player's Guide. But, they do mention the World of Darkness combat in the Hengeyokai book, I don't think it fits really well. I think that book was designed very clunky. I think if you use the martial arts system that's in the Kinder to the East core book, it's much more seamless and can be integrated into your games. And then you can actually use that to flesh out Kailen-Do and make it more pertinent, especially in theme with what the Hengeyokai and the Beast Courts can do. Because then you can do a traditional anime and like super fictionalized martial arts movies, like you can kick through the air and all that type of stuff.
Everybody was kung fu fighting.
Yep. And you can use it in the Umbra. Moving back to the Umbra.
29.
Yeah, okay.
Just to report completely. He's like, what the fuck?
Right? No, I didn't have a rhythm. It's fine.
Spirits ripping through the gauntlet. Yeah.
Yes.
That's where we left off.
Yes, the areas where the gauntlets is so thin, the wall.
Dragon punch through that thing, get through it.
Sure you can. Now, it's rumored that there's even like a handful of gates that exist between the realm and the Umbra, or at least they used to, and possibly still do. Where like we're talking about hidden in natural glens, or the back of mystical shops, or maybe ancient shrines. Like literal cool gates into the Umbra. And like, you know, these things that, if they still exist, like they'd be super fragile, and they're probably held by powerful spirits or Shen that, you know, I think use of those gates wouldn't exactly be free.
Oh, 100% would not be.
All right. And like the same way that there are areas where the gauntlet is paper thin or almost non-existent, the other side holds true as well. To where, you know, the more industrial areas are so, the gauntlet is so thick, it's not only just about impossible to cross, but some gifts won't even work right.
Oh, wow.
Like, won't work right? It's like backwards, even?
No, you're not able to use them.
Okay.
As in, you can't get the spirit help to do the gift because the gauntlet's so thick.
Weird.
Well, fucking, weird.
Cool.
Frightening.
Yes,
very
to a level.
definitely.
But let's look at that, too, because you got to remember, this book came out in 98. I mention this because there's a problem, at least as far as I have, with the gauntlet. 20 years ago, or 10 years ago, you had the gauntlet at 8 in cities.
I know what you're saying.
Yeah. So, like, I don't know if there is an Umbra anymore in modern day.
Jeez.
Yeah. Well, yeah, think about it. The technology, and
right, like
it's only gone up.
Yeah, the turbo rocket sled technology has been on.
If it was that thick of a gauntlet back then, 20 years later, it's only gotten worse, but yet the gauntlet's still at 8.
Right. I guess it's a minor bitch.
Yeah.
But
I know
it's always something that's, again, that's another reason why I dislike modern day games, because if in the 90s the gauntlet was fucking 8 in this city,
10
it's
now.
12 and a half.
Yeah, it's higher than 10.
I was going to say 14.
It's
yeah.
fuck off.
Nothing but a spider hole.
Yeah, you're not
Nothing
getting
but a
through.
spider hole now.
And so from there we move into the Penumbra, which is known as the Mirror Lands. Mm-hmm. Right. And it's about what you expect, more or less. The thing with the Mirror Lands is they can be kind of confusing. They warp the physical world sometimes in some strange ways. Yeah, so like in the Umbra, we know it's lit by moonlight, or there's like the ambient sunlight, but there's, two scoops isn't up there in the clouds going, hey, everybody. At least outside of the theory around. Mm-hmm. However, in the Mirror Lands, they have 10 distant suns that are visible in the sky during the day.
Whoa.
Yeah, they're various sizes, like,
But that would be trippy to look at.
10 fucking suns. And it's worth noting that the spirits of the Mirror Lands are way more active.
Oh, I can only imagine so.
Yeah, there's a greater number of them are awake, and they all, like, have a purpose or a role to play. A quote I pulled a few quotes here and there. It's like, Hengeyokai must be cautious in dealing with the spirits of the Mirror Lands. Although the awakened spirit of an antique family stool might seem irrelevant and harmless, it may well be a servant of the Dragon Prince of Wood, who would be quite offended if Hengeyokai were to harm his proxy.
Oh.
Damn.
It's like, you don't even know,
no,
like, how these things are connected, and like what kind of, I guess would that be at that point, spirit broods for us in the West. Like, suddenly that guy's way more important.
Something else that you have to like pay attention to in the Mirror Lands, unlike in the Umbra and then the Western, non-Beast Courts game, the other supernatural of the Far East can sometimes enter into the Umbra, into the Penumbra. So you might have like Hui Jin, who are much stronger than their Western kindred counterparts, just in the Umbra doing whatever they're doing. So it's not just a spirits only type realm like it is typical in the Penumbra and other places. It's got other stuff there you need to worry about.
No, you're exactly right, which is going to be a trip if you're not used to that sort of thing. Because again, the Kuei-jin are not traditional vampires. So those rules don't apply. That said, the physical rules of the Mirror Lands, for the most part, remain the same. You know, what comes up still goes down. You walk 5 miles in the Mirror Lands and step, you're 5 miles away from where you are. Now, of course, there are exceptions. And it is, like Grant pointed out, there are other Shen that can interact in the Mirror Lands in a way that we aren't familiar with.
So one thing that I do find really, really interesting about the whole Mirror Lands thing, they talk about it in the Hengeyokai, and they don't really talk about it too much more, but it's other splats go more in detail, is that between China and Russia in the Mirror Lands...
Oh, I was going to bring that up. Yeah.
Yeah, this massive region of just swirling like walls and
this black fucked off nightmare thing, and everyone's like, I don't know what this is,
and probably don't go near it,
right? Like it's guarded just in case something fucks off out of it.
So it's a huge barrier between the two.
Yeah,
it's a huge barrier of swirling mists and craziness between Russia and China, and nothing comes through.
And it's interesting, like, because again, this was written in '98.
Sure.
So I feel pretty strongly that this was the first allusion to the Shadow Curtain. Maybe not the first one, but this is clear the Shadow Curtain.
That's exactly what I was thinking when you mentioned it. I'm like, this is Shadow Curtain.
Right, because and World of Rage hadn't come out yet, I'm pretty sure. And I bring that up because that's the book that really talked about the Shadow Curtain and what went on during that time.
It just happens to be pretty damn close to that same location.
Russia. So
yeah,
I can't prove that, right? But I'm not looking at the books to get the dates exactly.
Which good luck, because
it's right over there.
I know,
but I'm not getting up.
But still, trying to dig and decipher all that.
I feel like that's the case, though. What do you think, Grant?
I'm pretty sure that they, regardless of when the books were released, like the roadmaps and the developer, when you write these books, they're not wrote in a vacuum. Like you have, developer roadmaps that kind of hit the touch points on for authors of these books, where it's like, hey, this is going to be mentioned, but you're not allowed to go in depth about this topic because it's going to be over in this book.
Which is what helps lead me to this conclusion.
Right. I mean, that would be my assumption. I mean, there's other things that you can pull from Vampire with Baba Yaga and all that stuff that may be more close to the truth. But, I mean, it's World of Darkness and it's White Wolf in the 90s. So, they had the flawed narrator variation going on. So it could be any number of things, but I think it's probably just a Shadow Curtain.
Yeah.
At least, if not other things as well.
I mean, it lines up with the region. You got Baba Yaga, you got the era. I feel like it's the Shadow Curtain. It doesn't have to be, though. I mean, either way, it's neat.
Yeah. And then you said there's packs that guard it just in case something comes out.
No, I said it is guarded.
Okay.
It
doesn't.
It's not specific. It's not a whole, like, we don't have a page segment. It's like a sentence or two.
Fair.
But it was neat, and so I got it down here too.
Definitely would be watching that just in case.
I'd be the fuck away from it personally. That's someone else's problem. Let the Street Sharks do that. For the rest of the Mirror Lands, a lot of the usual suspects are there. Like there are still blights. There's still, blight's still a blight. They're all too present. You can get crazy shit. Reflections of the crowded cities like Bangkok or Beijing. Interestingly, you have the power of the wild will ebb and flow in those kind of areas. There's you still get epiphs, glens. A lot of this stuff is still the same.
And I know when I was going through locations, it specifically stated they don't try to go anywhere near Tokyo's or Hiroshima's because it's just so bad.
Right. And again, we talked back about the Gauntlet 2, about what a nightmare that's got to be.
Jeez, yeah.
Right. So yeah, largely it's same as it ever was with the Penumbra. Like if you get it, you get it. It can be a little bit more esoteric in certain places, especially with the lower gauntlets, but
a little more in depth with the spirits too.
Right. But then we go to the Middle Umbra, the Tapestry. Right.
Back to that lexicon.
Right.
Just where the wheel is.
This is a place, where moon tracks and dragon paths, a realm where time loses all meaning, and where the physical realm, the laws hold less sway. This is the Middle Umbra, which the Hengeyokai divide into the yin and yang realms. The idea is the yang realms are full of life energy, while the yin are places of darkness. And the beast courts do most of their umbraing in the yang realms.
Right.
You heard me.
That makes sense, though.
Yeah, it does. It makes sense. It's just funny the way it sounds.
Happy areas, not the shitty areas.
Right, where, the other ones, the yin realms are considered domains of ghosts and demons, and as such, the Hengeyokai try to avoid them. Like, I mean, and it's not a 1-for-1, but it's like, oh, big shock, you don't want to go to the atrocity realm today.
Right.
Big shock.
Yeah, like, I guess what a fucking leap of logic here. It's so different. This place is awful. Let's steer clear.
It is sort of congruent. The Yang world is sort of congruent to the Umbra and Umbra realms, and the Yin world sort of congruent to the Dark Umbra and the Underworld.
No, that's true too. But you know, I've got a list of what I'm going to say essentially near realms here too. You know, most of the tapestry is described as a dark, swirling place of fog and mist. You know, strange sounds echo there, and a sense of 100 different spices mix in the air. That's an unfortunate rhyme. How dare they? Now, like, there are still moon paths.
Okay.
So, hey, we're familiar with that. There are also sun paths, or sun trails. It's moon trails and sun trails. It's fine.
It's the same.
Yeah, no, exactly. It's fucking, come on. But sun paths are less common. Mostly the Zhonglong favor those. Big surprise.
Big surprise.
But there are dragon paths as well.
Can only the Zhonglong take them?
No. Don't be racist.
Wow.
The dragon paths were allegedly created by mighty dragon spirits, and they tend to be the safest and most direct way of traveling through the tapestry. I would put it akin to the moon paths on during an Ahriman, where there are loons guarding it. I mean, it's not a 1-for-1. It's not the same.
No, but for a comparison,
exactly for a comparison, it's the safest route. You know, if you're standing in one of these paths, you're under the protection of the dragon who created the trail. Now, most of these dragons are sleeping, but it's enough to keep travelers safe. That said, sometimes servants of the worm will move along the path.
Like adjacent.
Yeah, like they're following you.
Path adjacent, waiting for you to
just
step
waiting.
off.
Exactly.
Yeah, I can see it.
So, you know, they're technically the safest way to travel, but sometimes maybe not because, it's like the bully. He's just following you, and he's like, hey, everybody, let's get this asshole. Just take a step off. We're going to fuck him up.
Yep.
Now, are these paths easy to find, though?
Yes.
Oh.
They're very innate. There's jewels along them, like associated with whatever type of dragon. Like, I guess if it's a green dragon, look at all the jade.
Emerald one.
Yeah.
Get the point.
But then you still have that.
Yes, like they're very pretty. You want to feudal Japan it up, anime it up.
So Korax really...
Yeah. The Korax often dig at the ground to try to get the shine. I'm making all of this up right now.
I can still see what the Banes are following that. Like,
and again,
you're safe on that trail.
Yeah, but you step off this path, you motherfucker. As soon as you come out of that house.
Yep.
I can see why it's easy to see too. So I can see why they're just waiting.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
You got to come off that path sometime.
And even if you do. Even if you do come off those paths, the tapestry, unlike the Umbra, has helpers that will help you find your way.
Yeah,
little special spirits.
They're big on storks.
Carrying babies?
Yep. Helping you find your way
you're
back
the baby.
Well, yeah, you're the baby.
And they're carrying you to where you need to go.
No, like storks and cranes. Those are the big spirits. Like again, in the West, we got the loons. Mm-hmm. Yeah, storks and cranes are the big helpful.
Oh, interesting.
Guide spirits over there.
Still
over there.
Birds.
Snowbirds.
There's no birds.
No birds.
Poor birds.
Now the tapestry has its own. Like I said, they have their own kind of near realms. Hengeyokai can reach a lot of the realms that we're familiar with. But places like the tribal homelands in Erebus are no-fly zones. Like they can't
even reach them?
Apparently not.
Okay. Like oh no, we just don't go there. But
no,
it's not even possible.
Well, how you know?
You think that's
maybe possible, but they're not really aware of their existence.
Plus, it's Garu home stuff. So.
Right, like let them have their own thing. Come on, fuck off. Quit being selfish.
You can't have everything,
right?
Come on.
Now, something I was is spirits. Many spirits have their own domains in the tapestry.
Cool.
Like each noble spirit has a place in the grand scheme, and many of the ministers of heaven have begun ruling in a more feudal manner, seeing themselves as an absolute power within their own spheres. You know, it says that they haven't forgotten their place, and even the worst act properly for their duties if reminded. But like even some of the Eastern Banes are not completely corrupt. And some can be trustworthy and honorable, their dark goals notwithstanding. So, like, I want to paint the picture there, right, of you going through the Middle Umbra and running into, like, a feudal Japanese or Chinese village, if you will, that's being fucking held and lorded over by, you know, this big fucking Bane. And, like, maybe he's a huge asshole and he's kind of up to evil shit, right? But he's still ultimately honorable and can be dealt with.
I like it.
You know, and it's each spirit court is different. You know, like they all contain or have some characteristics of the realms. Most of them have like a place with like a guard tower. You know, visitors enter through a main gate. You know, it's guarded by powerful spirits, shit like that. You know, and like when visiting a spirit court, it talks about how the Hengeyokai want to be on good terms with the spirit or have good reason for the visit. You know, these little courts are tied to each other in many ways, and if the Hengeyokai should offend a lord in a spirit court, he might find himself facing the enmity of all sorts of other, I won't say creatures, but you know, of the ministers.
Okay.
Yeah, it spreads. Your reputation spreads throughout the Eastern Umbra much further, much faster, and much more thoroughly.
Yes, and it's like it's a way bigger deal. You know, like I want to go back to that thing with the wood, like the antique spirit, right? And he serves, you know, it gets around and it matters more.
No, it's a huge difference.
Definitely
Really matters.
don't want to mess with any of the brood. Because that, yeah, like you said, it's just a bigger issue.
Right, and even that's not a great one for one. Because we talk about spirit broods and how we know them here, like kind of that mafia kind of hierarchy.
Yeah, the hierarchy.
Like it doesn't quite work like that over there because again, the spirits are much more, I want to say vibrant, you know, and active.
Almost more attuned to their locations.
I'll give you that, sure. Should help me out here, Grant. I think you know what I'm going with here.
I'm trying to think. Say the last part again, so get back on task.
Well, I think that the spirits, they're more, I guess, autonomous, I guess. I mean, they're linked, but they're more, they're...
Yeah, they have more autonomy, they have more freedom and more will. They're not quite as bound to the ruling spirits over them as before. So they can make their own decisions and they can have their own reputation. And they have much more, not sentience per se, but something close to consciousness than some of the others do.
There we go. Yeah, thank you. That's exactly what I was looking for. You know, it matters in a way in the East that it doesn't in the West because its squirrel spirit is an idiot and isn't really tied to anything in the larger scheme of things. But where the squirrel spirit here might be more of an individual, but is connected because of that.
Right.
So more juggling than, I mean, just trying to put it in those terms.
Sure. Probably more upper echelon juggling than gaffling, but that's not...
It's not how this works.
No, that's not how this works here.
Trying to change that to where I would kind of be able to see that in Garu lens.
Yeah, like it's hard to equate because, the
spirits have relationships with each other as well as with Shin, which it makes things a little bit different because you can't look at a spirit just as a background concept. You have to look at a spirit as a particular character that can have its own motives and its own motivations that'll actually have ramifications throughout the realm.
Right, and and let's run back to the idea that spirit courts, right? Is you have this area. You know, let's call it like a glen where this spirit has built up a spirit court, and you have spirits there. Again, it's guarded. There are spirits that work for the dynamo of this spirit court,
but not mafia-esque.
But
kind of
almost.
They're organized spirits.
Yeah, but again, it's because of that personality that they're more characters in their own right than a squirrel spirit.
So less mafia-esque because okay,
like it's more and less at the same time.
It's more and less.
They're more like people. Might be a better way. I don't want to go there anthropomorphized because that just
it's much more individualistic.
Definitely more. Yes, definitely. Yay for spirit stuff. This is why I take this shit.
Oh, it's cool.
So yeah, it's bringing in these this individualistic and more autonomous spirits into the equation. You think about some of these near realms that are unique to the Far East Umbra. You know, you have a couple really unique spirits like the dragon spirits. You know, they're really powerful spirits that don't really have an equivalent over in the non-beast courts Umbra, which I find are very, very interesting, especially because you have these dragons. Some of them have actually carved out their own near realm. Like there's one that's called the Dragon Kingdom of the Sea, which is like this massive dragon has created this near realm where he has different squadrons of like Zhonglongs and Sambitos like serving them, even to the fact that some of them have been in the Umbra for so long that they can only exist in the Umbra. You know, so you have these this whole potential near realm for future games you can really dive into.
Yeah, that one in particular. Yeah, the Ume, the Dragon King of the Sea, right? That realm claims the entire Pacific Ocean, by the way.
The entire Pacific.
Wow.
Damn.
Which, and I just want to, is also the Atlantic Ocean. I know we named them different things, but that is the same body of water. There's not like a wall separating those.
It's true.
So it's just the water.
Yeah, they just have the water.
The realm is just the water. It's just water. But
That's a big realm then.
right, but it's pointing. But like like Grant says, I mean, it's all sorts of like squadrons of the Samavito and the Zhanglang. He's even got a seneschal named Gajraya, I believe. Yeah. That commands, it was a seneschal. He commands in his stead. He's one of the few great dragons still awake. His power extends over the waters surrounding him and boils from his mouth in the form of fire that devours even metal and stone.
Jesus Christ.
Wow.
I loved that line and I wanted to share it with you. But it's been 50 years since the Dragon King has been seen in public.
Oh.
And so, what's fun is you get some story seeds there about what the ultimate fate of him is. Like some say that the Dragon Princess of Hiroshima was his love and the Dragon King is off grieving over her loss, or that maybe he went mad, right?
Yeah.
Or he's fallen into the slumber of the disease.
Maybe, but like Grant pointed out, that's the realm of water. It's just water.
Yeah.
There's the realm of fighting spirits.
Cool.
Which is sort of the battleground.
I was going to say it's got to be at least akin to it.
But it's cooler.
Really?
Ooh, you get cooler?
It's described as a vast plain of carnage where spirits of the unhallowed dead go to do battle. Remnants of constant battles throughout history mix to create the most horrific battle scene ever witnessed by man or shen.
Oh, that's fucking awesome.
Okay.
Right? They just threw all the shit in a blender and fuck off, fight.
That's awesome.
Right.
I want seats to that.
Right, it's just super wasteland. And then you have 3 distinct forces guiding the battles.
Oh.
Of course you do.
Of course.
You'll never understand or guess this.
No, of course not.
There's one, check this out.
I'm listening.
There's one that fights under like a banner of a spider.
Oh, okay.
Spider legions.
So the 3 Bs are fighting.
Yes. And this first bee includes pattern spiders and weaver spirits. What?
What?
Nuh-uh. Now, secondly, though, oh, buddy. Jesus Christ. Yeah, the second one, obviously, it's, fighting under this centipede banner, cruel beasts and demons with no sense of honor or ethics. I like how they added ethics. Like you're in the middle of this nightmare hellscape battleground, and it's like, is it ethical to see? I don't know that he's looking directly at me. Should I not? Would it be wrong to hit him? It just seems like a little
low blow.
So we have spider, we have centipede.
Yeah, and it's said on occasion under this banner that a Yama King will appear.
Oh.
Which fucking crazy. And then in the third force, obviously the wild. It's fighting animals, energy, a throng of shapeshifters, all complete like berserk with limited technology. And like we're talking sticks and rocks and shit.
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, it's what you expect.
What's
What's the banner?
Banner?
Yeah. 2 of them have a banner. The other one didn't.
It's a little organized, don't you think?
Fair point. That is way too
Having
organized.
a banner is way too organized.
It actually says they do not fight under a banner. It literally says that.
Oh, well, there you go.
See?
It's a little too organized for the wild.
A little too weavery for a wild, don't you
That's
think?
100% fair. Thank you for that.
Yeah,
They
thanks
said
for
they
the
don't fight underneath the banner, and they're as likely to attack each other as their enemies.
It's just fucking masked
better.
insanity. Yeah.
Wow. Can't
Attack
organize
each
that.
other.
So, yeah, they're just hitting anything around them.
Yeah, thank you for the clarification. That's awesome.
There's the Mountains of Heaven, which is, it's what it sounds like. Great mountain range.
Everything is of one.
Yeah, dwarfing like the mighty Himalayas, above the sea of clouds. Many great dragon spirits are said to hold court in the mountains of heaven, but their subjects no longer understand their rulings and whisper that Western thought steeping into the realm has blinded or paralyzed the great dragons. It's also possible that this realm is actually part of the ethereal realm, and that through it, it's possible to reach the deep umbra as well as the weaver, wild, and worm realms by, following proper paths.
I can see that. I can see that working that way.
Yep. We got the Tigerlands. Which is, want to keep your eye on it.
31.
I did it.
So what I
Yo, Adrian, I did it.
like about
32.
Let's go ahead, France.
Wow. I think you just hit him.
Go ahead, great.
all right. So what I do like about the Tigerlands is the fact that there's nothing that is human-made in the Tigerlands. As a matter of fact, they have tiger spirits like that roam throughout the Tigerlands looking for anything of humanity, and they will attack and destroy it upon noticing it.
Yeah, I think that was pretty neat. It's like there's just roaming there looking to fuck things up, human-wise.
I love it.
You know, and there's all sorts of fearsome creatures there, you know, like mighty elephants and great serpents. Even giant pandas have a place in the Tigerlands. And, you know,
That's where they went.
oh, shit.
Solved. That's where they went.
You have solved the panda mystery.
Nicely done, Tom. Nicely done.
What?
I had to.
That was perfect.
And if I was an enterprising, rather ruthless Hengeyokai and I wanted to make a point, I would help some offending mortals enter into that realm, you know, just to see how things are.
That would be kind of neat. You know,
Like how about you stop buying up all my village and selling it to Apple to make new phone factories? So we'll put all y'all in the Tigerlands, see if you can get it back out.
yeah, just watch fucking ghost tigers.
Bounce.
That's, you know, the... No, you know, rise up to the challenge of the rival.
Even better.
Jeez.
No, in Hengeyokai, that the beast courts, they often seek to bind spirits from the Tigerlands. Like they're great working them into talons and stuff, and it's pretty. I want to say they can fairly easily convince many spirits of the Tigerlands to willingly be bound into talons.
I can see it that way, especially if they're gonna fuck up anything that's human made.
Right, they want to fight.
Yeah, which is pretty cool. You know, we have the gardens of the first age, which is just summer country.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's Japanese summer country.
Okay.
Although you'll remember when you leave a legend, apparently, and sometimes you get shit.
Oh.
Like it's brought up that sometimes you will enter the gardens, you'll find your way to it rather before like a great adventure or you know, like a turning point. You know, maybe you're going to go on the great quest, maybe you're not going to come back from, so you end up there and get a vision or something, and maybe here's the MacGuffin sword. Who knows? But basically, it's summer country. Like even to the most don't think it exists. So yeah, it is summer country.
And Garo can't reach it. Maybe.
Well, you get there, you don't. But like summer country, you know, you get there, you don't.
Yeah, you get there, you
It's
don't.
like,
Yeah.
look, probably it's not real, but they totally say that it is, but no one believes it.
But somebody's been there for it to be written about.
Next week we have this is a cool one, the Goblin Jungle.
There's a very big goblin theme.
I love it.
You know, it's a place most shun avoid. It lies on the border between the yin and yang, the yang and yomi worlds. Excuse me. It's described as like poisonous insects and spiders crawl over sweet sticky flowers and rotting wood of the jungle floor. At times the goblin jungle is alive with motion, but it becomes silent in an instant. Spirit bats hunt through the forests, and these beasts tear one's eyes out as easily as they pluck a moth from the air. Yeah, I like that. Mists fill the jungle air, carrying strange smells, making it even harder to see. Damp part of the realm soon makes even the hardiest of travelers uncomfortable. Now, given the name, goblins are the main inhabitants there.
I imagine so.
Right. What's kind of neat about these guys is they're all kind of physical-based creatures, right? But each one is individual. And I mean, they share certain characteristics. Like, they all have a taste for flesh, right? Like, they're all super into eating flesh. They respond well to sacrifices. They can even be dealt with that way, like, you know, negotiated with. There was a story that's mentioned in the book about Hakan who made a deal with a goblin that I'll feed you my flesh, but only a little bit at a time. And so what he'd do is he would cut flesh off his body, wait for it to regen, and just kept feeding the goblin until its stomach exploded.
That's one way to deal with them.
Right. There's also a version of that story where the goblin had a bottomless stomach and he's still fucked off in that realm feeding the
Still
goblin.
sitting there feeding them.
Either way, right? But something neat about them is like they all have misshapen body parts borrowed from a variety of animals.
Oh.
Right.
This is just getting extra
weird.
creepy now.
Yeah, it's like Buona Beast, right? It's like the arm. Here's an arm's a tentacle. It's got the body of like a rhino and like a monkey's head and I don't know, a pig's tail for some fucking reason. Like they can all look crazy like that.
Nilbog spelled backwards is goblin.
Yes, but those are trolls, you creep.
Trolls.
They live in Nilbog, which is goblin spelled backwards.
So something they don't really go into that I think is important because they go into it in other books. They don't go into it in the Hengeyokai book. Is like you mentioned that this particular realm is similar to a Yang and a Yomi world. It's between a Yomi world, And it doesn't really say what a Yomi world is in the Hengeyokai book, which is sort of like a special carving out of pieces of the Yang and the Yin realm by a Yama king to have as their own personal realm. Like the book 10,000 Hells has like a pretty exhaustive list of what's in most of the ones that they know. And yeah, they're fantastic. So they kind of bridge the gap between, the Yang world and the Yin realm. So you have like the Umbra, and then you have, the Dark Umbra. Then you have in the middle the Yomi worlds, which are a little bit of both, of some different variety, but all horrible. So I really enjoy those. I really like to use those in a lot of my other games as well, because they bridge the gap between a lot of different concepts.
Well, it's definitely a cool fucking realm. There's a few of these, like really neat shit. Like, I mean, you listen to the description of it, and it's like, that dark forest, dark jungle kind of thing. And again, you go back through the Inspirato that it had to come from. This was one of those areas that really hit my Inuyasha butt.
Mm-hmm. I can see that.
We've got the Temple of Ancestors, which we talked about a little bit earlier, last episode, where, the Khan, how the Khan can speak to their ancestors as well, which is something that, And Temple of Ancestors is really just what it sounds like. It lies between the tapestry and the upper reaches of heaven. And, all you got to do is seek out the spirits for, of honorable and respected ancestors. And you go through this little quest, these little challenges along the way, tests of the ancestors. Might challenge the heart, the mind, the body. And, you get to this temple and are led to particular ancestors, which will help the Hengeyokai in all sorts of ways.
It's part of the mandate. Got to do it.
Right.
Got to go talk to Grandpa.
They give insights and information, location of forgotten fetishes, weakness of family enemies, advice, counsel. Occasionally, we'll even teach gifts. And it's something interesting about that is it's far more involved than in the nation, right? Mm-hmm. But you can just summon an ancestor spirit, theoretically.
Theoretically,
you can just do that. You can go to your tribal homeland and maybe hang out with some ancestor spirits. They have this whole quest, which again is very on point thematically.
To test your spirit to make sure you
are worthy of
the information. Yes.
It's I kind of like it better. It's like it's harder, but I think that makes it more interesting.
It's more rewarding.
And makes a better story than poof.
Right.
There's Grandpa.
Exactly. Like I summon the spirit of Lennox Ashmane.
Poof, there he is.
Sup, Graps? How's the best hacker in the Ghostlands doing?
Love it.
Temple of Ancestors, much better. But then you look into the Yin realms, places of death and stillness. Western shape changers rarely have the ability to transmit to the Yin realms, but, they know it is the Dark Umbra. So you have, like, the Cave of Centipedes, which is a sentence I love already.
I'm already heebie-jeebie.
Yeah, it's creepy already.
It's a dark underworld that reaches below the soil of the tapestry. It's blocked by many, the entrance is a great cave that appears to be blocked at first by many giant stones. But if you climb up onto the rocks, there are cracks you can kind of slip through. But centipedes, worms, spirits of the dead, and this is the better part, of spirits of the dead wander through these caverns and corridors of the realm. Kumo tracked through the tunnels looking for things that are lost, hoping to find some secret knowledge. As I'm talking about, it's a little reminiscent of the Abyss.
I was just about to say, I'm hearing Abyss all through this right now.
Like it's not a one for one.
Somehow the Abyss is connected to this.
Which I could totally believe. Because there are those parallels here.
Exactly.
The cracks in the ground, the underground, the lost.
The Kumo stalking around.
Did you manage that?
No. I mean,
and
yes, I can.
Their goblin spider Krynos just skittering through these these caves.
There goes your EBGBs.
Just did it again. A little shiver up the spine.
Full of spirits of the dead. Some believe that the Yama King has a fortress deep within the Palace of Worms, where he tortures Hengeyokai. And those who venture deep enough into the Cave of Centipedes sometimes come across the spirits of the recent dead. They talk about a green glow of balefire dancing through torture pits. So it's a little atrocity in there too.
Atrocity, yeah.
So it's a good thing, but
yeah, that's a good.
Oh yeah, it's a good time. It's a good adventure time. Yeah,
makes you feel warm and fuzzy like grandma's cookies.
So I mean, green's a nice color, right? People like the color green.
I'll go hang out in tan there.
Christmas trees are green. People like Christmas. It's the same thing. Just like Christmas. It's like Japanese Christmas.
That's where Santa comes from.
Like Japanese Christmas. What the fuck?
Wow.
I know, right? Who said that? What an asshole.
I do like how it's parallel to the Labyrinth, and I like how they bring in the fact that if you know Wraith, you could bring in specters from the Wraith splat into this particular realm.
Yeah, I mean, they talk about, too, is that legends of Hengeyokai journeying, going into the realm to save a spirit of a friend or lover. And it mentions that even that they say that if the Hengeyokai succeeds in rescuing the spirit, that their ally will be returned to the living.
Ah.
Which is an interesting thing. I don't know how much you want to buy into it.
No, but it's...
But as a legend alone is enough for story
say,
fodder, right?
Yeah, it's an incentive.
Yeah, because why the fuck else?
It's no Isha lies in propaganda. There it is. It's all to deflect on the true nature of the Sambito.
That's right. Oh my God.
What?
You know what?
He had to bring that around for you, Danny.
Danny's still lost. He's like, what?
No,
it's okay.
It's not. It's more like why, not what.
Just because we make our own fun.
All right, fine.
Just how I equated balefire with Christmas trees.
Just green. It's fine.
It's green. It works.
Yeah, it makes it happy.
It counts. I'll take it.
Here's one I thought was really cool: was Lord Spider's web.
Yeah, that's.
And it's a cool one. It's, I mean, you hear it and you've already got the idea.
No, clearly.
Right. Like dark and mysterious, Lord Spider's realm is a quiet place far from the other realms of the Umbra. It's fine. Titanic web that crosses a gulf so vast that one edge cannot be seen from the other. And this is not like weaver webs. These aren't the metallic weaver webs, pattern webs we're used to. This is more of a natural type of cobweb. The Lord Spider's web, catches spirits and objects. Some believe that Lord Spider is a benevolent spirit trying to save the lost of the Umbra from the void.
I like that.
Right.
Makes it not sound so horrible.
Right. And then I can add that many Hengeyokai find mummified corpses of banes and centipedes, even pattern spiders along the web.
It's doing the good work.
He's going to take everybody, man.
Yeah, it doesn't matter who you are.
Some say that Lord Spider was once the lover of the weaver herself and now weaves his cobwebs in mourning, hoping that he can catch the spirit of his lost love.
I like that.
Right? Isn't that sweet?
Oh, that's a
That's
nice twist.
It is.
I mean, but I get it. No, I like that. It's cool.
It's also worth noting that the Kumo superstitiously avoid the place for fear of offending the totem.
Oh,
That topped it.
That's kind of neat, right?
It is.
It's like, because you hear that and you're like, oh, this is going to be Weavers. Oh, God, nope.
no, not at all.
Then you have the Desert of Visions.
Jesus.
Which is a harsh place, and it's a journey that the Hengeyokai do not undertake for trivial reasons. Like, I mean, desert, that's, you've already got the image, right?
Yep.
But the idea here is the, I keep wanting to say Garu, but is the Hengeyokai. As they wander through the desert, they find themselves assaulted by spirits in visions, replaying like past misdeeds and transgressions, right? They suffers constant agony, drained in gnosis, filled with rage. The desert is made of small grains of silver or fire or whatever causes the most pain.
Oh my God.
No, thank you.
Right? Like, it's just the worst fucking thing. And there's a skewed perception of time, right? So, like,
of course there is.
When they leave the realm, it's either been a few seconds or decades or fucking whatever. But it feels like it happens, it feels like they're wandering for like several days. Like, no matter what. Like, you're in there, it feels like several days. And the visions get worse. Every shitty thing you've done's rubbed in your face. You get hit in the nose with the newspaper, the whole nine.
Bad dog.
Only if you're the Haken.
Right? Like, and you can't kill the spirits who play out these visions. So they're just taunting you and just making your life miserable. The floor is lava. Everything is terrible. But by viewing all this shit and accepting that as part of yourself, is like you can progress through. And once you do, you see visions giving the answers that you came to seek.
This sounds akin to something in Garu. I can't remember what it is. There is a realm like that.
Starts with an E.
I would call it a little Erebusy.
Yeah, there it is.
Yeah, I mean, it's not cleansing you of anything.
Yeah,
but it's making you face your shit and come to terms with it. And once you get through it, yeah, you get the answers you seek. But I like how it says, like, you don't like to come here. It's usually the juice ain't worth the squeeze.
No, I was going to say,
it's
it
not
doesn't sound worth it
but
at all.
It just sounds a little like it.
Yeah. Even like, I think if the thing you need is big enough, sure. But I like that it's like, I don't know, we could find the answers here, but ooh.
Maybe we don't find the answers. Just leave them alone.
Right. It would be like the rite of questing stone, except every time you do it, someone cuts off a toe.
Okay. Oh boy.
Or maybe a foot.
About a whole foot.
Yeah.
Toes, you can
toe at a time.
You could bear with a toe.
Toe at a time.
Toe at a time.
You lose all five of them. It's like one every little bit. Because again, it's like 7 days, right? The point is, it sucks. This is the point.
Just go with that.
And I'll round this off with the Forbidden Lands, which is the realm of enlightenment by heralding a time of pain and suffering to come. The short version here is it's the sixth age.
Okay.
So it's the apocalypse.
It's the apocalypse.
In the Umbra.
Right. It's you've lost. The sixth age is here. It's staying here. And the idea is that there are, I want to say, pockets of resistance. It's horrible. Everything's terrible, but there's a little bit of growth here. And hey, look, there's some humans underground who are waiting it out in, hey, once the fallout ends, we're going to come back up and grow shit and hug, I guess.
Sing Kumbaya.
The idea of it is like perseverance through your darkest hours.
That sounds like the next single for 50% Forever.
That's actually good.
It's not bad. It's not bad. But yeah, the Forbidden Lands, the Hecaton in particular, viewed as a test of strength, meant to help them learn if they are worthy of surviving the times to come. Some look at it as a way to help their kinfolk survive what's going to happen, but it's next week, basically.
It's just all preparation.
Here's your future, man.
Yeah, it's here's the future, but you better start preparing for it.
No spank you.
Yeah, right.
That's crazy.
But yeah, like that's your Umbra, that's your new realms. I mean, it's like I said, it's a different thing. There's some similarities, but you notice each one of them kind of folds into particular tropes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Which is kind of nice because, I mean, you have those adventures almost pre-wrapped. You can see where that influence came from, and it gives you a nice variety, I suppose.
True story. Yeah, I mean, you have to think there was so much more they could have added into this, but it's at a certain point they have to know where to cut it off. Because, you have all the Yomi worlds, you have all the other near realms and other mythology that they could pull from Eastern mythology. And at a certain point, you just have to kind of curb it back for the book.
No, that's true. And I mean, I think had they performed better or the timing had been different, this could have branched off full stop into a complete other game line. And I think ultimately we saw that in Exalted.
Yes, I would say that. I would say Exalted is the natural evolution of Hengeyokai.
Yep. That's how I know you had a little more for us.
Yep, we can round it off with this. It's basically the organization of the Cairn, quote unquote, the organization of these courts.
Yes, I got some Cairn stuff here to add with you too.
Okay. So it goes over like the elders.
Mm-hmm.
Each Cairn has a court to defend it, and in most ways, a Hengeyokai court is identical to a Garu Sept. Many of the members live at the Cairn. There's a definite hierarchy of officials, and each court strives to maintain packs of shapeshifters. Good to note that most courts are a shadow of what they used to be.
Well, which is funny, not haha. It's not like White of the Chicken, right? But is it the Cairns of the East are by and large more powerful than the Western counterparts?
Which is still shocking to hear because they are a lot weaker than they used to be.
Right. And which by the way is due to, constant war between the Shen and, have drained a lot of those cairns dry.
Mm-hmm.
And again, there's not enough to go around anymore. But I think a big difference between the Eastern and Western cairns is that it lies in the Mirror Lands, like in the Umbra. Like each cairn has its own domain within the Mirror Land, which is part of a larger domain like a glen. And they all possess their own distinct nature.
That definitely would make them a lot more powerful.
Yeah, I can see why there's a difference.
A little jealous. Not gonna lie, a little jealous.
Right?
So since they are much weaker, they used to have what they call ministers, but it's what they call ministers. It's their hierarchy, I guess. They used to have tons and tons of them. It's only down to 4 offices now remain.
Damn.
Yeah, but they used to have offices for every little affair that needed done.
Well, and it's interesting you bring that up too, is that, well, the Cairns of these might be powerful, they're also like more dangerous because of those ministers.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them pressured by the constant war, for favor from their faction or lack of resources. Like a lot of them have become arrogant or even insane. And like they'll go so far as to demand blood sacrifices or ask Sept members to perform impossible tasks, like bringing them the heads of all the Yama Kings.
Good luck.
Right? Like there's even instances of Cairn spirits attacking members of their own Septs.
Damn.
Jeez.
Yeah, that's impossible tasks, yeah. Going crazy. Oh, Jesus.
Right?
All right, so I'll just go over real quick on these little office rankings.
Sure.
I mean, the ranking personages of a court are usually referred to as Gainat, and it's short for Gaia's liegeman. Now, the highest is the regent, and is essentially the highest ranking Cairn elder. The ultimate authority figure of the court, keeper of the laws, the arbiter of disputes, the one who ultimately decrees the court's responsibilities. And this person is chosen by the court's acclaim and by petitioning the court of ancestors to recognize the most worthy candidate. Not a job you exactly want, because everything falls on you. So
it's appointed to you.
It's appointed to you. Basically, you have to do it. It's appointed to you. It's not someone's willing to go do it. It's just, that's your job. Go do it or else face punishment.
Oh, welcome to the, I guess, world of darkness.
Pretty much, right. Next would be the general or the war master, fulfills the role similar to that of the Garu's Cairn warder. Their duty is to ensure that the Hengeyokai of the court are properly trained in war and are prepared to defend. And following that is the seer, fulfills a role much like the master of the rite. They are the keeper of the rites, the one who dictates the spirits, the master of summonings, and the seer is usually the courtier who summons spirits to ask favors, bind sentai, and teach gifts. Now, a seer will almost always have at least one potential successor in training due to they are the biggest, they have the biggest target on their backs because of all that information and knowledge they have, and the demons want that.
Oh.
So that's why they are always training somebody. So if they get fucked off by a demon, there's somebody to replace them.
Okay.
And last is the historian, and that's just your Galliards.
I mean, there you go.
And that's pretty much the easiest way to put that. The ones that just keep the lore, but the problem is these guys have to be taught like right from Jump Street. So these are usually filled with like people who were born in the nation right from Jump Street and are trained right from Jump Street. And it's a good luck because there's a lot of history and there's very oral history. Yeah.
Well, shit, it took us 3 hours to talk about it. So that's a long time.
Almost 4. It's three and a half.
Sounds like it's perfect made for the Zhonglong, they're all their memory stuff.
Everybody walk the dinosaur. Or rock the dragon, if you will.
I like that one better.
It's 34.
I lost count. If you were keeping up, guys, let us know.
But here's the thing. Yeah, how many of those
they're
are
going to get 8 or 9. They're not going to hear
I'm
at
just,
least 8 or 9.
I want to know how many at the end.
It'll be a fun edit.
But I mean, that I think concludes largely. I look for now at the Hengeyokai, at the Beast Courts, at the East in general. I think it's pretty great. I think there's really cool shit there, and it's
so much you can do with it.
Oh yeah, there's so many fun, high octane kind of adventures.
Especially umbral wise. Holy hell!
Even beyond that, with the nature of how the spirits can break through the gauntlet, how you're dealing with like demons and ogres and stuff, and that's how spirits manifest, and the different you can give yourself. There's all sorts of potential. Just let that high octane anime inspired adventure shit just fly and have fun with it.
I was going to say, yeah, absolutely. I totally agree. And hopefully, these 2 episodes of going over the Hengeyokai will whet your appetite and you won't be hungry for another one in an hour or so.
Fingers crossed. Oh boy, because that's a big old book.
Oh boy, that was well done, sir.
And with a nice cap, put a hat on it.
And with that, yeah, why not?
Yeah,
Grant,
on it.
Thanks for joining us. It was a great time, as always. Great to have you with us.
Happy to be here.
And, well, I'm sure we'll have you back soon enough. And it's entirely possible we'll revisit the East at some point. We have Demon Hunter X and some of the other denizens of the Eastern World of Darkness we could talk about. And we will do Kitsune. They'll get their own episode. Just all right?
Yeah. I can see. I hear 6 people right now. Where are the Kitsune?
Shut up.
Yeah, just wait. Just wait.
In the meantime, however, we want to thank you for all your support. Thank you for listening. Make sure to spread the word to help out if you feel we deserve it. And on behalf of everyone here at Scratch Wolf Studio and our dear friend, C. Grant Rose, Mr. Daniel Tyson, Mr. Tommy Dixon, and myself, we want to say take care of yourselves, take care of each other, keep your claws sharp, your head in a swivel. Sayonara. You love Vin Diesel.
I don't.
You styled your hair just like his.
Oh, that's a good one.
I'll take it. Fine. Send me Vin Diesel and the Street Sharks.